Why aren't we looking at the entire pool of talent? Why aren't we ensuring that the conditions within our organizations are such that will enable each and every one to succeed? Are they really the right template? Is it time to change the template?
It takes quite a bold and brave CEO to really push the agenda.
Would be highlighting those two key roles of CEO and CFO and the pipeline to that. So if in your succession plan you haven't got women, then what are you doing to fill it?
I think what sits in the core of this is actually, one of our core priorities is building an inspired culture. That's literally what it is. And this is, every leader in the organization thinks about this in a very, very meaningful way. I mean, and I can give one example, but I sit with my leadership team and we have a diversity discussion quite regularly. We literally would look at the composition of our team at a broader level and then an individual team level, and we'll talk about what is the diversity we need to bring in the organization.
The need for balance in business has just got compressed to now. What do I mean by that? I think the requirements of leadership have dramatically changed to being much more inclusive, much more empathetic. I think all the words that we used. It requires a different leader. It requires a leader who is chosen to be a leader because of heart and mind. The other thing that's clearly changing is the opportunity that it actually provides in this virtual technology-connected world. But if your competitive advantage, which we believe, for example, with 100,000 people in 30 countries, is culture, then how do you maintain the culture that you so admire, that you think your clients love, in an environment where almost 95,000 of the 100,000 people are working from home and are going to continue to work flexibly? The world of campuses is done.
So one of the things that we do is we significantly invest in education, and so tuition reimbursement right at the core. So the first thing that we address is the people who come into our environment who haven't necessarily had the opportunity to engage in third level education. We provide them that opportunity. So that's a kind of a leveling up type approach that we take. Secondly, we use our technology to support through our Verizon Innovative Learning initiatives actually into the school environment to support a better future talent pool. The other thing that we do is we've developed a Verizon Women's Collab program where we're actually looking to elevate and inspire women who left the workforce during the pandemic.
There is a war for diverse talent right now. Every company we're working with wants to find diverse talent. Like, diversity hiring is about widening the gate, not lowering the bar.
Well, I think we're seeing a demand for all leaders, men, white men, as well as more diverse talent, for breadth.
Still something from Suki, which is diversity is about widening the gate, not lowering the bar.
You can steal that one.
So yes, I will. But I will quote you. But I will quote you. So how can we widen the gate even further?
The process itself has to evolve to make sure that we're mitigating bias.
This isn't something that you do and then you stop. It's a continuous priority and continuous focus.
It's having a more systematic approach to the way that you sort of think through the end-to-end recruitment process. I'm interested in the corporate view here.
So it's looking at multiple data points rather than isolating it to one evaluation by one person at one point in time.
How do you make sure you give those people all the resources to make this successful? How do you support your future leaders in those pivotal moments of time? So, which is another big conversation, but I think these are things that have to be thought through and implemented at an organizational systemic level in order to allow for that.
Milka has just made a really good point, which is about risk and taking risks with people and then supporting them through that. Having all of the right processes and practices in place is hugely important too, and then holding the executive to account around that.
Is punchy targets the way that we actually sort of need to progress?
You've got to be looking at targets at every level and opportunities at every level. The questions that we're asking are no longer just about facts and figures. They're also about, and how have you done that, and where have you, ESG is coming up in all board interviews. Diversity is coming up in all board interviews. Well, it wouldn't have done that 3 years ago.
And across the piece, this idea of upskilling and reskilling, so as well as tuition reimbursement, a very substantial investment in learning and development. And that allows us to take the pool that might otherwise have a socioeconomic bias in it and try to balance that out in a way that affords us the opportunity to match more talent to opportunity. Because, the fundamental underlying belief is that talent is equally distributed. It's just opportunity that isn't. So we're trying to do some more of that matching right at the core.
I want to make sure that we sort of are clear about mentoring, sponsorship, and role modelling. I think they're all important.
Women tend to be over-mentored and under-sponsored.
A mentor shows you the door, a sponsor opens the door.
So I've been a mentee on the program here twice, and it's been absolutely instrumental with how I came into this role that I am.
The Senior Women in Leadership sponsorship, that the executive team and the board should be sponsoring up-and-coming female talent.
I'm definitely stealing the over-mentored and under-sponsored. That's definitely going to my next speaking engagement.
So what we call a Senior Women in Leadership sponsorship program, and there's 7 executive leadership team members, and we actually work with Herminia Ibarra from Insead, some of you may know her, and she's helped design this program with us, and the executive leadership team sponsors VP plus women on their journey.
So the key message from tonight is take something away, but please apply it, whether that's with your organisation, whether that's in your particular function, whether it's in your role, whether it's as a leader. But the key thing is find 1 or 2 things from tonight and take them away and apply them.
My message today would be to do the next right thing, step by step. The time for calling for action is well past. We do need to act, and we need to act on the call.